All right, we got some interesting situation at the moment. As many of you might recall, I purchased an investment property in JVC, 2-bedroom. I thought about a long time, what my strategic vision would be in building value and equity and just building, cash flow. With that unit, I put it up for rent. I got a great offer, ready to rent it out today. And then out of nowhere, I just received a cash offer. It puts me in an interesting situation. So it's a good problem to have, right? So, maybe I can make some money off this property. Now I need to have a call with the agent that's brought the deal and see, what the situation is. I told them I had a sort of a minimum requirement, and it looks like, after the agency fee, it will be under that amount. And so let's call the agent and see what their perspective is.
Hi, Hamzah.
Hey, love, how's it going?
Good, thanks. Good.
Yeah, all right, good. Sorry, I was in a call, so I couldn't come back to you. So tell me, what's the situation?
Yeah, so they've come back. They said they'll meet in the middle. Like they offered 1.55. You counted at 1.55. Sorry, I'm probably saying these numbers wrong, but anyway, they're in the middle at 1.525.
Okay.
But we can't do a sale without conveyancing.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, we look at it like insurance. We don't like to use it too much, but if there's an issue, like it's just asking a broker to conveyance a deal when something comes up with a developer or whatever it is, it's not feasible because my kind of expertise is prospecting properties, listing them, doing viewings, getting the contracts agreed. But when it comes to conveyancing, it's so
No, I don't mind that. I don't mind that, but I told you from the beginning that what I wanted was net, what the net amount is at 1.5. So, and I want you to be successful and I want you to make money. It's just,
of course,
for this deal, unfortunately, you know, I had some challenges at in the beginning getting financing through different banks. So I had to do two different valuations, so that costed money, and then and then there was banking fees and a whole host of things, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it just has to make sense from an investment perspective that I actually make money off of this deal. And until now, it's the agents have made more money than me, which I don't mind. I think you bring a lot of value, and I told you even from the beginning, I didn't have to offer the agency fee, but I want it to be a win-win situation, right? Yeah. So that's where I'm at the moment, and I wanted to hear what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose what I think is it's a cash buyer, which is great because we're seeing more and more mortgage buyers in JVC now, like more end users. So at least you won't have any issues with the process. I mean, there won't be a bank valuation. They just literally have the cash and it's done. So we need to obviously do the blocking and settle your mortgage, but there won't be any mortgage on the buyer side. I think it's a good opportunity to exit if you want to exit. I know you have the rental offer at 117k, but I mean, we can just get it done today for. If you don't want to go below 1.5 net, I mean, I can just go back to them and say that your last price is 1.55 because, I mean, they initially told me the asking price is 1.6. So it's just a case of whether, like, you run the risk of the longer we leave things, I mean, time kills deals. Yeah. They've asked me just in the meantime what the rental offer is, and they've asked for floor plan. So I don't want to give them too long to start thinking about it. Like they've done today, they've offered today, and is a really good broker. He can get it boxed off today, but we just need to be like very definitive. Like if that's your bottom line, I mean, I can go back and just say, look, 1.54, and that's his last price. And that's fine. We can try and close it that way. It's an extra 15k for them on their current offer, so we can just see if they'll come up. But right now the offer is 1.525, and they'll definitely sign on that. So
okay. I would say I'd go back. See, the thing is, for this unit too, the reason I made it so successful is I actually, a lot went into it. I talked to the CEO. I did the snagging. I had a third party come in to make sure that the unit was impeccable, right? Yeah. And then I made them come back 3 times, which is true. It's all documented. I mean, you can even see it on my Instagram story. But, because the challenge I had there is like, the quality of work wasn't up to standard from what I want, right? And so they're probably getting the best unit in the building. And so I don't want to belabor it, but it's just, that's kind of where I'm at the moment is I'd like to, push it a little more. And it's not, I don't think it would be substantial, but if they can come up a little bit more, then yeah, we can close a deal. Now my question is, if I do accept their offer, like, are we signing the MOU today? Like, what's the situation?
Yes, I mean they're cash. They're keen to move in because like that they're gonna have to get a hotel now because it's gonna be an extra time on the contract F. But we can get it done today if we can get a price agreed.
All right. Well, see what you can do. See if they can come up a little more.
Yeah, so just for myself, I mean, I was thinking to go back at 1.535 or 1.54. Obviously, 1.535 is kind of more meeting them in the middle, but I don't want to go back with that if that's going to be like it's going to be a tiny little bit below 1.5 net to you.
So what would the amount be?
So we're 12k under, 11,750 under. So if I go back and I get another 10k, like we're just under 2k under 1.5 net. Maybe it's better to go back at 1.54 then. I'll just to leave a bit of a buffer.
Flexibility. No, I get it. Yeah, and then if they come back at 1.53, then maybe I can make a small concession, and then happy days. Fine, I'm okay with that. But in the meantime, I just wanted to know. I mean, you're at.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know somebody named?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He does JVT.
Okay. And he has another colleague. What's his name? Yeah, I've been talking to him.
Sent me your number actually.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, I wanted to work with them, and I have an investor that wants to buy, and they said that he approached one of the other colleagues, and so they want to close off any potential discussions, which is fine. But what I can tell you is my client is not going to work with anybody else but me. So it just kills the opportunity for that. I'm just going to show them other units.
Yeah.
I thought I'd check with you if you know them well.
Yeah, I know them well, and I mean, I can have a chat with them. The difficulty is that obviously once we do an A to A, if the buyer inquires directly with us and it's in our system, the firm are quite strict on, like, if we have the buyer directly and they will work with us, it doesn't make sense to give away 50% of the commission. But obviously if it comes to the point that the buyer is only buying through you, then they don't have an option but to do the deal with you. But for sure I can talk to them. But a lot of agents say their buyers are exclusive and then they turn it not to be exclusive. So this is why it gets into a little bit of muddy waters. But look, if you're confident that he won't sign with anyone else, then just tell him to tell them that is probably the best thing to do.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, let's do this. We're very close.
Yes. Okay, I'll tell him we need it done today because otherwise you have the rental offer on the table. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.